Hello everyone, it's Bibi Cameron here. Welcome to a new video. Last month I spent some time experimenting with tiny little die cuts and I used these beautiful dies by Simon Says Stamp. My aim was getting a complete negative die cut image on the front of a card, regardless the intricacy, the detail or how tiny could be some of the parts. I also wanted the process to be easy, mess-free and quick, and I found a very easy way to get this done, and that's what I want to share with you. So the cards you are going to see in this video are those I created when I was experimenting the technique. I really wanted to be completely sure that the technique is going to work every time you try it. I also tried different papers and I'm in love with this Craft Perfect cardstock by Tonic Studios, and it's really amazing to apply this technique. I tried watercolor paper as well, and for this sample and the next samples you are going to see, I apply BRUSHO crystal pigments on wet watercolor paper to get that kind of distressed look, and then I die cut the paper as I'm going to show you next. So another thing I noticed when I was making these samples is that it's so quick to make this that you can mass produce this card, and you can also make different things with this. You can keep this strictly a die cutting card, or you can also do some stamping. So I have to be honest with you, and I'm not sure if I like these colors. What do you think, Emma? Do you like those colors?
Yeah.
Do you like them?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure if I like these colors, but the other day we were also experimenting, and Emma and I were having more fun than actually thinking in color combos. So that's all I got to share some samples and ideas and also the technique with you. So I'm going to start showing you how we made the paper. We use BRUSHO crystal color pigment powders and Canson watercolor paper. Emma sprayed the paper with generous water. You need to apply a lot of water, and then we sprinkled the powder on top and we allow this to dry. That's all we did. So it's extremely easy and you can create that kind of distressed look. But what I like the most about applying these pigment powders is that when they dry, they produce a very beautiful texture on the paper. And when you use this paper to create your die cuts, it really adds a nice artistic element there. There's something, there is a plus, there is a value that you are adding there. You can also use distress inks, and this die cut will look fantastic in distress oxide inks. So wow, that's something I want to give it a try as well. So I'm going to start showing you how to get this done. So this is my die, and I'm going to spray the die with water, just like that, and I'm going to use kitchen paper to dry those drops in the center of the die. I'm using a piece of paper that I made for a previous video showing how to use pigment powders with stencils. So I left a bunch of that paper. I'm going to put it here in good use as well, and I die cut it using the Tangerine die cutting machine by Tonic Studios. And what I'm going to do is to lift the paper from the die cutting plate carefully, like so, because I want to guarantee to get all those die cuts stuck on the die. If you see there, when I apply the water, that's going to make my paper to stick to the die. I tried this without applying the water and it didn't work, and I also thought in using a temporary adhesive, but it wasn't necessary. The water just worked fine. So all I have to do here is to use the paper I just die cut has a mask, and I'm going to spray this permanent spray adhesive but crafter companion. I listed in the video description the supplies I'm using here, but I'm also going to add a couple of spray adhesive that might work, and you might be able to get them in different countries. It's a repositionable spray adhesive, and I have 2 minutes to work before the bond becomes permanent. And then I'm going to grab a foam and a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to place my cardstock on top of this foam. This is the foam from the die brush, and I'm going to use this retractable craft pick to go through the holes in the back of the die to press the die cuts down. You can also turn the foam and this like that, and you can make some pressure in the back of these, trying to make those die cuts to stick to that paper, and this is another way to do it. But I really like and feel confident on using the retractable pick or some similar tool, or even the die brush. However, the water stock those die cuts really well to the die, so we need something like this. All this is happening in 2 minutes I have to work before the glue becomes permanent. And please do not get stressed here. You don't have to rush out here to finish this in 2 minutes. You will find that this is enough time to get this done. You can also drink a coffee. I'm kidding. You can do this in peace. Relax, okay? Depending on the dies you are using to apply this technique, you will see that 30 seconds is enough. This die I'm using here is super intricate. It has a bunch of mini, super tiny dots and hearts, and that's what I wanted to use this die first, to show you that you can achieve results even with dies like this one. One thing you can do to verify if you got all the die cuts on the paper is to lift the die a little bit and to check out which of those little die cuts are still on the die, and you just can press them down. Then carefully remove the die, and that's how you get all those super tiny die cuts on the paper. Something I like to do as well is grabbing a plastic bag or a piece of paper and press those dies down a little bit more, just like that, to make sure that they are perfectly stuck to the cardstock. And to finish this card, I used the die Thanks by Simon Says stamp, and I die cut the word out of a piece of similar paper and also from craft foam, just to paste that craft foam behind the die cut word and give it a little bit of dimension. I also did some stamping using a sentiment from Thoughtful Message stamp set by Simon Says stamp. And to finish, I'm going to spray Stick Away Adhesive Remover by Crafter Companion, and I'm going to clean the die like so. You can use any adhesive remover to make this really quick and easy, but there is too little glue on the die, so you can also use soapy water, and I think that will be enough. Now let me show you in 1 minute how to make another sample using a different die. I'm using here Floral Burst Collage die by Simon Says stamp, and I spray water on the die, I die cut the paper, and now I'm spraying the permanent adhesive on the die. And this is going to be extremely easy because this die offers larger die cuts. So the process of gluing these die cuts on the paper is going to be really quick. If any die cut gets stuck on the die, you just simply can remove it and glue it like that. Because these dies are large, you won't have a problem to do this. I made different panels using this die, and here is a card I finished. I also used that beautiful die Thanks, but this time I die cut the word out of Black Mirror Cardstock by Tonic Studios. I'm loving the results of using these dies with mirror and metallic Craft Perfect Cardstock by Tonic Studios, and I also like to add a craft foam at the back of the die cut word. I tried to say that before with the previous samples I just showed you, but I struggled to say it, and I didn't find one shoot of me doing it, so I found this one here, and I just wanted to share it to make sure that you understand me. You know that I'm not English speaker, but I do my best. When I cannot speak properly, it's better to show an image. And I'm using here a glue that dry clear but remains sticky after drying. I kind of don't like this glue for this specific purpose, because when this glue gets in contact with the metallic cardstock, it gets like a stain over there, and it's kind of tricky to get it off the paper. So that's what I like a glue that dries dry. So at some point I lost my pick tool and I'm using here a crochet needle. This needle is damaged, it lost the head. So you can use whatever you have, to make this. And I wanted to show you how I made all these cards because they were really easy to make. I'm going to play some music and speed the camera so you can see how I finish these cards and all the time I get the results applying this technique. And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to leave you with some images of card samples I have in my blog using the same tools I have used in this video. As you know, these tools are extremely versatile. You can use them to create windows in envelopes, to make background panels, to make a fun decorative edge on cards, etc. etc. The sky is the limit. If you want to support this channel, please click in the button subscribe. It's completely free and you will get notifications in your email every time I post a new video. Do not forget to visit my blog for more ideas and inspiration. And if you want to order any supply I'm using here, you can check the links in the video description. And every time you buy through those links, I get a small commission and not extra cost to you. Thank you very much for watching and happy crafting. Bye!